Hello? Is this working? Am I actually streaming? On my laptop, which is about to ignite because it's so hot? Let me just say the last time I tried streaming from my laptop, it didn't go very well. But, nothing seems to be wrong just yet. Hey! Hello, hello! This is Orion, Escalus, Celestial Wanderer, and AstraLog Member number 1, coming at you live from Japan. I think it's 10 a.m. here, or something. That's how time zones work. Oh god, I see some weird buffering happening on Twitch. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, I'm kind of on a Japan trip right now, and this is hardly my ideal setup, so, uh-oh. I think Twitch is dying, which is why I'm here. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully things work. Angela, thank you for the follow. If it gets a little too scuff on Twitch, you probably could migrate over to YouTube. I think the link is in my about. Sorry about this. It's just, this laptop doesn't have a graphics card, so it's, it's doing its best. Also getting very hot. Anyway, I am streaming, like, at a significantly lower quality than usual, but, I think it should work. But yeah, I'm in Japan right now. Let's see, I'll put a link in Twitch chat for you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I see a message from... Hi, I'm in school right now, and you're on mute, but I'm gonna say hi. Well, hello, if you happen to watch the VOD, I say hi back to you, don't worry. Yeah, but, yeah, Japan trip, lots of fun, cool stuff has happened. Let's talk about it. But first, before I get into that, I just want to thank anyone who, like, supported me whatsoever in that, like, VTuber Awards, like that small VTuber Awards thing that was going around. I didn't even realize I was nominated, but I ended up on the list of nominations. I show up in the credits, and that means it's humbling. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, thanks, Sele. Yeah, but somehow I was nominated, and I appreciate the sentiment. Just a lot of stuff to work towards and get better at, I guess. Yeah. Oh man, I've been cooking too, but you probably won't be able to see it until I get back from Japan. Hey Yanni. Yeah, no, I'm having a great time here. Yeah, but let's start from the beginning, right? So yeah, of course, there's the, like, ride the plane over kind of thing, but predating this, right? Oh man, what's going on with Twitch? Twitch, please! It says unstable. I'm surprised YouTube is working as well as it is. If there's anything I can do about that. If I stream again, I will probably figure out some way of making Twitch a little more stable. God, I have no idea how to make this work on this laptop. But anyway, before I just keep talking about technical, if anyone wants, like, slightly higher quality, be sure to follow that link to YouTube, because I think that's working a little better. Oh well. Oh, you know what? I might be connecting to, like, Twitch servers that are still in, like, the Eastern time zone, and I'm most certainly not in the Eastern time zone right now. Okay, whatever. That's enough, weird technical difficulty kind of talk, right? So, normally, when you are a functional adult and you want to go on a trip, you have to get it cleared with your superiors, right? So, my day-to-day... Oh my god, Twitch. My day-to-day requires that I, like, get my vacation time off a reasonable amount of time in advance. And, I kind of did that, right? And then they had, like, a rule that was like, oh, you have a certain amount of time you can request off, and when you request off, you generally get that time off if you ask early enough, and it doesn't, like, bump up against like, stuff that the sort of, like, team is working on, stuff like that, like my line of work, right? And I got that approved, and all my paperwork was great. It was excellent. And then my superiors decided that they were going to change the model. They were going to change how, like, this kind of process works, and they retroactively denied. they denied the full length of time that I had blocked off for vacation, right? So my direct boss, she's, like, an excellent person, and she kind of has a bone to pick with the superiors, right? Like her bosses were the ones that said no, not her. But she kind of, like, bent the rules so that I could continue doing the, like, work I needed to do, but, like, remotely. So I actually stayed cooped up in my hotel room for a few days in Japan. without leaving, just doing my normal work. Oh, I'm so sorry about Twitch. Yeah, I'll need to figure something out. Oh. Anyhow, I actually just stayed on an Eastern time zone kind of schedule for a few days when I was over here. And it was really weird because I was working normally, doing my normal kind of thing in total darkness, but then going out to go to like a 24-hour conveni, pick up food in between every time. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, so after that like few day period ended, I was able to kind of just return to what I was doing normally. And which wasn't bad, and I was able to start my vacation proper. Come on! Okay, Twitch, what do I need to do to make you work? Is there anything I could do at the moment? I don't think so. Sorry guys, anyone who tuned in on Twitch. Anyhow, the first thing I did after my work schedule was resolved was to go to Comic-Con. Which, for anyone that doesn't know, is like a really big festival, sort of convention sort of thing that happens twice a year here in Japan. There's a summer version and there's a winter version. And basically there's this humongous event complex in Odaiba, I believe. It's just like this floating island kind of thingy off the coast of Tokyo proper. And yeah, there's some really cool buildings in that area. But yeah, I wasn't able to go the first day because I was still working. But I was able to do Comic-Con day 2 to some extent. You're technically supposed to buy tickets pretty well in advance, otherwise it's very hard to get tickets. And I did not get those tickets well enough in advance, so I actually had to buy a day of ticket. So here's how entry into Comic-Con works. You have early entry, as a standard person. If you're like a cosplayer or a like person who is actually like going to sell stuff or work the event, you can go in much earlier. But the 3 standard tickets you can get are an early access ticket, an AM access ticket, and a PM access ticket. And I think the doors open as early as 9 a.m. for early, and like 11-ish for AM. Yeah, like early is 9, AM is 11, and PM is like 1 p.m. And the thing is if you don't pre-order your ticket, you have to get a PM ticket, which you can get in one of 2 ways. You could either starting at like 1 p.m. you actually get in line. Actually, sorry, the PM ticket entry is like 1:30, right? But if you want to line up for a ticket, if you want to line up for a ticket, like a PM ticket on the day of, you actually need to like wait in a really long line outside starting at 1 p.m., which means that you're going to be in line for a few hours. And when you actually get your ticket, like it closes at 4 or 5, so like you don't have much time to go in and look at stuff. Or you can go to an anime store like Animate or Melon Books or Tora no Ana, which are scattered across the city, to sort of buy a wristband that you can go to get in. I kind of arrived and was winging it really hard. Really hard. And I finally looked up how to buy a ticket when I was there. I was like, oh shoot, I don't want to wait in line for a really long time in the hot sun, but where it's raining on and off. So I actually took an hour-and-a-half detour to go back to Akiba in like the heart of the city, get a wristband and come back. So I went to Animate first, which is like the super big main anime store. Yeah, and there was a sign right on the front door in English that just says Comic-Con tickets sold out. And I'm like, oh no. So I look up Tora no Ana, right? And the closest one is actually not in Akiba, but in Ikebukuro, which is like the other like otaku capital, I guess, of Tokyo. And it was far away, like another hour-and-a-half it would have taken to go there. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Melon Books, there was a chance they still had it. So I actually like Melon Books, for those who don't know, sell a variety of like doujin. Doujin meaning, specifically meaning like fan-created material. I understand that the it's more well known in the West for its sort of like 18+ kind of materials, but doujins just refer to any fan-made kind of stuff in general. And the thing is, Melon Books has a mix of both, but in order to get to the register, you need to walk through the absolute tittiest section of like full color doujins you can imagine. It's just like super explicit stuff. and I braved this like corridor of like super lewd 18+ materials to get to the register, and I asked in like broken Japanese, like, do you have any tickets for today? And he was just like, yeah, 500 yen. He gave me a ticket. I'm like, what? It's really cheap. It's really cheap to get in because Comiket used to be free. I mean, there's nothing wrong with lewd stuff. It's just not my brand, you know? But I got my ticket and I rode back just as the doors were opening for PM, and I saw the line for buying PM tickets on site. It was so long. Those people probably stood out in the sun and in the rain for like 2 hours to get in. It was insane. But I got in. A bunch of artists I follow on my personal Twitter, I kind of hit up when I was there and just bought some art books and stuff. Like a lot of times you could order them online, but it was just kind of cool to go there in person. Yeah, so I was surprised how little. Well, okay, there was a lot of 18+ material there, but there was a lot of not 18+ material as well, which makes sense, I guess. Like it's a big portion, a big percentage of the material that comes out of there. But like there was a lot of not lewd stuff as well, which is kind of neat. Honestly, if I was going to like go and just wander around the entire day, there were so many things I would have impulse bought. Like just so many things, like so many cool art books, like a lot of those landscape painters, a lot of those like figure drawing artists, like just original works or like even like works based on existing properties. It was super cool. Just so much stuff, so many cool things to see. And yeah, I ended up mostly just buying the things from the list of artists that I had marked down because I figured that I only really had like 3 hours to walk around and check things out. So I was like, I better make a beeline to the ones I can actually like go and get books from, so that it just doesn't run too late. So I picked the stuff up, and it was pretty cool. Like, it was super hot in there. Oh man, but like it's just so many things ranging from like just doujin books, art, or there was literature, people writing like fanfics and stuff, like it bound really nicely. There were people like selling dice, playmats for card games, sleeves, CDs for like Toho music and just original music in general. There was like a guy selling like self-help books or something, and he was like a cosplayer as well who was dressed as like a doctor. It was really cool. It's just there's so much stuff. There were like trains, there were all kinds of different like materials based on different series. Yeah, in terms of all the stuff I picked up, it was mostly clean, I guess. A friend of mine asked me, hey, if you see literally anything of this one character, yeah, I need to pick it up. I don't care if it's 18+ or not. I'm like, okay, you're gonna pay me back, right? Or something. And I picked up a few of them, and I looked at the covers, and I'm like, there is a 99% chance that this is 18+ materials. And yeah, it is. Like, it was pretty lewd, right? But I opened it later, and it didn't get much worse than just like pinups. It nothing super explicit happened. Safe there, I guess. But did I see any good cosplays? The cosplayers kind of hang out in this like veranda kind of thing. This kind of like open area in the complex, I think. And I didn't actually go there. And the weather was kind of like on and off raining, so I didn't have that much of an opportunity to see it. Cosplayers. I did see some like Musume cosplayers walking around, but that was kind of it. I think the majority of the actual cosplayers were there in that like veranda area. There were some artists actually dressed up as like characters from the books they were selling. That was kind of neat. I think there was like an area where some like JAV like actors were like handing out their materials or something. I didn't go by there because there was a stupid long line in that area, and I didn't want to like weave in and out, but I'm 99% sure that's what it was. Yeah. Oh my god, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think if I go back, I'd like to go in the winter, just because it probably won't be so bloody hot. I'd rather it be cold and I wear a jacket than hot, and I can't. Though speaking of like interesting things people were wearing when they were there, I saw a few people who were wearing like shirts that had like built-in fans. It was really interesting because It kind of reminded me of those like T-Rex or Among Us sort of costumes people have with the fans, except they were just shirts that were like puffing up and had like a constant airflow through them. I really wonder if that kind of thing works, but it was funny. I really wasn't expecting to see it. It's cool. Oh, let's see. Yeah, something about the Comic Kit area though is it takes place in the Tokyo Big Sight area, which is probably the most like recognizable building in the area. It's like this big inverted pyramid kind of building. It's like these 4 inverted pyramids that are kind of like up on pillars connected by like sort of like sky bridges kind of things. I was a little disappointed to find that the event doesn't actually take place inside there, but takes place in these sort of like warehouse style complexes that immediately surround it to the east and the west. I guess it only makes sense, but yeah, I was probably just being dumb thinking that they held the convention like suspended in midair. Yeah, it was really neat though. Lots and lots of people. I had some of my friends that were there got in at like the AM or the early and just bought like, I think one of them bought like $500 worth of stuff, and it was just like fan art and like figure drawings and landscaping and a fair amount of 18+ material. But you know what? Well, I always say you do you, right? Yeah, it was kind of neat. What happened after that? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have, like, notes just reminding me of what I want to talk about. So normally, I take pictures of everything that I eat when I go on vacation, because if I look back at the pictures, I will remember what I did based on the food that I had. Unfortunately, the first few days I was here were a little spotty because of my whole work schedule. Basically, I ate far less than I probably should have, so I might have only had like 2 meals on some days just because I couldn't tell if it was like day or night, technically. Let me talk a little bit about the hotel I'm staying at too. So everyone knows like capsule hotels, right? Like the kind of like literal hole in the wall kind of thing where they sit you in like a sunbathing tube kind of thing, except it's like your entire room. Apparently they're not bad, but they are a bit gimmicky and they're not actually that cheap. The like novelty of capsule hotel has kind of made them significantly more expensive probably than a lot of other hotels. So I'm actually staying in a business hotel, which is kind of just designed for the sole purpose of you are stopping here on a business trip. I don't know. Japan work culture is all about business, and if you have to travel anywhere, you just stop in one of these business hotels and you don't pay very much. And they're really tiny. Like when I opened the door, it's like this tiny little hallway that just leads to an area barely wider than the hallway that just has a bed in it. That's it. There's like a TV bolted to the wall. Hey, Quest Wizard, welcome in. I am lagging pretty hard, but my computer's doing its best. Yeah. But pretty much, like, the room is only as wide as the bed. As many things as possible are, like, up on the walls. There's, like, a tiny, tiny little desk with, some, like, power connections that I can use. And, like, the bathroom is really, really tiny. Like, I'm always banging my knees against the walls and, like, the sides of the tubs because there's barely any space. But it works. It's this weird combination of just really, really compact things. It just works. Yeah, and it's not been bad, but something about this hotel is they have something. Hey Shibatan, welcome in. Sorry for the quality of my stream. I may stream in 480 next time because I see Twitch is having some issues and YouTube is starting to stutter. At least the stream's not going to go on super long, and I hope the VOD isn't affected, but I'll make it work. Yeah, something about this hotel is they seem to be obsessed with eco-friendliness. I don't know how to put it other than that, like, so many things seem to just have, like, an extra tag on them, or something that they're like, hey, remember to be eco-friendly, or just, they do something a bit weird that, in the name of, like, eco-friendliness, I'm a little suspicious that it's to save money, but I don't know if that's going to come back and bite them in the butt. Because, like, the faucet that you, like, use in the sink, the bathroom, to, like, wash your hands or brush your teeth or whatever, literally only lets out like 50 milliliters at a time. Like if you just left the faucet on and let it run, it would actually stop after 50 milliliters gets dispensed. It's weird. What else? Oh, is my stream like actually dying in both spots? I may switch to a 480 like in mid-stream. if it keeps going. How hot is my laptop? Oh god. Oh god, I can like I can cook on this. It's like a K barbecue. Oh well, I hope it holds out long enough. Let's see. When you leave the room, you actually when you go into your room, literally nothing is powered. You need to actually stick your like key card for your room into a slot, and that powers on your room. Like no air conditioning. The power outlets don't have any power. The TV can't turn on. I don't even think the toilet will work. You need to actually like put your room card into the slot and everything powers on. My work computer actually died because I went out to get lunch and I came back and I just left it plugged in and on, but like the plug that I had it plugged into just stopped receiving power. And they're like, oh yeah, that's eco-friendly, right? But here's the issue. It's like super, super hot and humid, right? And if you don't run the air conditioning at least a little when it's this humid, it gets condensation everywhere. Like, I could come back in and like the mirrors are, like there's multiple mirrors in this room, and they're like just coated in condensation. And the TV is like dripping wet. I'm like, what? I think, oh god, is my computer crashing? Oh my god, it did something. Anyhow, it's just, there's like, quote unquote, so committed to eco-friendliness. Like there's even like these propaganda kind of ads that play on the TV when it first turns on. Like when you turn on the TV, your Wi-Fi password is like on the left, and it plays like these hotel-based commercials on the bottom right. And there's like a pay-per-view thing in the upper left, and like your forecast in the upper right. It's actually kind of cool, but they're like eco-friendly this, eco-friendly that, and I'm like, what the heck? The mildew is going to happen. Like, if this much water just collects on all the flat surfaces, you know? So I looked up reviews, and apparently that's a really common complaint. Oh, my room had mildew in it because it was so wet or something. And I'm like, oh my god. At least it seems fine now, and I don't seem to be getting sick, but good lord, it's not sustainable. Like, I actually hung out clothes I was going to wear, like, the next day on, like, little hangers, because they gave me coat hangers. And when I woke up, they were damp. They were dry. They were dry. Whatever. They're like, oh, it's eco-friendly. And I'm like, eco-friendly my ass. You're gonna have to like replace these TVs and redo the wallpaper, and god, it's just such a mess. It's so wet. Like multiple friends who are staying at like either the exact same hotel or the same branch, or like the same like type of hotel, like on maybe in another borough, or like, what the heck? I wake up I come back every day after getting breakfast, and it's just wet. Kind of sucks. Yeah, but whatever. I'm only here for a few more days. Another note. There's like, the room service delivers, it's not like room service, but it's like, whatchamacallit? Like, every day they come in and clean kind of thing. They give you like these little powdered coffee, like, powdered creamer kind of things. And I kind of just had it. They give you like a hot water boiler too. And, I just had it because I'm like, oh, whatever, free coffee. And my god, the caffeine in this must be insane, because I just was wired. I'm like, whoa, I'm not tired anymore at all. What the heck? I don't know, maybe it's just because I haven't gone, I've gone a few days without having coffee. It just seemed really strong. Public transit, really amazing. Oh my god, I think I love trains. Like, I'm gonna become a train-themed VTuber now. It's just, trains are so cool. It's so cool. But like, they get you where you need to go. They're fast. They're relatively clean. And, yeah, I don't know. If you need to go from point A to point B, there's just so many different ways. And, yeah, I've been talking a bit about using Waze as like my main sort of navigational app recently. And, man, you could throw that out the window when you are like using trains or in a walkable city. Like, Google Maps is king. Like, if you are going from point A to point B and you say, oh, I'm going to be walking or like using the train, it will come up with like a really well done itinerary of like what stops you need to go to at what times, what train platforms you need to stand on, like what lines to take at what times. It even tells you what car of the train to stand in so that you'll be closest to like the exit ramp to like leave the station. It's nuts. And like the trains are well air conditioned. Man, and the thing is like there are multiple train companies that run subways or like overground trains, even like a monorail. They all are kind of like independent companies that are like in active competition with one another, but are just friendly enough that you can use the same kind of like pass card in all of them. Like you can get these little credit card kind of things you can fill with points and just tap them, and it's super fast, super responsive, and it just charges your account, and you just ride whatever trains you need to get from your point at, well, like your start point to your destination, and it just will direct your fees properly to each one of the companies. It's cool because like they're not all government run. I know there's some amount of government oversight, but like they're surprisingly like well behaved when it comes to working together. We're just making everyone's life a little more convenient. I'm sure there's terrible things under the surface because there always are, but it's just super convenient for the end user, I think in my adventures getting to and from like Akiba and Tokyo Big Sight for Comic Cat, I probably rode 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 different companies' lines. It was kind of cool. Yeah. Though I think my favorite one is probably the Tokyo Metro, because they have like a lot of other lines will do this as well, but the Tokyo Metro in particular has a unique jingle that kind of plays at every station that lasts like 5 or 6 seconds. And it's really cool. And I recently learned that I think the keyboardist of like the Japanese jazz fusion band Cassiopeia from like the 70s and 80s, the keyboardist is like a big train buff, and he apparently got hired to write the jingles for each and every station. And in like the interview I watched, it's like, yeah, I want each one to be, each station have like a distinct sound that like tells the story of the station and the area around it. So like if you're in like an old neighborhood, maybe it sounds like more like traditional like Enka, like I don't know, like shrine kind of music or something. But like if you're like in Akiba or Shibuya, it's more poppy. It's really cool. It's really cool. Trains, amazing, love them. What convenience stores? Yeah, no, convenience stores are amazing. Yeah, no, I just don't know what I'd do without them, honestly. Yeah, also, there's like supposedly some kind of like typhoon coming through soon, and it's caused like the weather systems in the area to be kind of weird. Well, I mean, there's a lot of rain on and off, and every time I go anywhere, I try to remember to bring my Don Quixote umbrella. I love Donkey. Donkey is this like odds and ends department store that's here and there, and they have everything. They've got everything. You name something, they probably have it. And anything legal, they carry. And it's just all stuffed into like these tiny little like vertical stores. It's really cool. But their umbrellas are super cheap, and I bought one right away because I'm like, you know what, I missed my umbrella from last time, and I'm not going to leave this one behind. Yeah, they're like, what? I think I spent 4 USD, about the equivalent, on an umbrella. Man, and I'm going to use this for years. It's such a good one. But I was walking to like a Yoshinoya or something to have dinner, and I got caught in the rain. It just started raining. I'm like, oh man, I thought the storms were over for the day. So I just walked into the nearest Family Mart, and for another $3, I bought a cheapo umbrella. So now I have 2 umbrellas. They're so good. Oh man, though, like every time I feel like, yeah, my ability to do basic tourist things with my level of Japanese is like high enough. Yeah, I just get flummoxed when I am asked like, hey, do you need a bag or something? And I've never heard this permutation of do you need a bag before. It's styled on by the natural Lawson clerk who just looks confused when I'm like, oh, do I need to sign this receipt? And apparently I used the wrong vocabulary. No, it's humbling. I wanna get better at Japanese, at least enough to be able to not be paralyzed in fear anytime anyone asks me if I need a bag. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes things go well. Like I'm like, hey, you got any Comic Cat tickets for today? And they're like, yeah, go to the register and pick them up. Then I'm like, do I need to sign for this transaction? And they're just like, huh? Like, shoot, I must have said it wrong. Okay, what else do I have? Oh yeah, I ate at a Wendy's here in the past few days, and man, it's a different experience. I kind of love going to like familiar restaurants that I know very well from the West, and just seeing, well, just going to see how different they are. And it's It's so different, actually. Wendy's is something of like a casual dining kind of experience. You kind of just order your food, pick it up, and then bring it to like a sit-down kind of place. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of like, what's it called? What's that? Boston Market? Boston Market, it's called? I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that. But like, you could still get burgers. You could still get fries. But can you get a teriyaki burger in the West? Can you get garlic butter and rosemary like sauce on your fries? Can you get like cheese and bacon? I think you can get cheese. Can you get like maple sugar and like butter on fries for like a dessert version? Can you get pasta carbonara? Can you get spaghetti with meat sauce? Can you get bolognese? Can you get bubble tea? I don't think you can. And I don't know, it was kind of cool. But I have to say that it was kind of expensive for what it was. Like, portions weren't super large. And yeah, I know that like fast food isn't going to be the cheapest, but at the same time, it's like food in Japan generally is kind of affordable, I think. I'm often surprised by just how little you can get away with like spending on food just going around. But yeah, it was kind of expensive. It was like expensive even by like Western standards. I think on like a standard meal, I think I spent like $5 something. It was nice to try for sure, but may not go there for a full meal again if I can help it. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I sent like a cropped picture to my parents. Hey, Mama, Papa, Escalus, can you guess? Can you guess what this place was? And they're like, is it Pizza Hut? I'm like, I don't know about that. Yeah. What else? Akiba. So I've been kind of like holding off on buying too much stuff because I don't want to have to carry stuff around. I'm not going to say where I'm headed on like in the future just yet because I'm mostly just going to talk about where I've been. But this place in Tokyo is not going to be where I'm staying for the rest of the trip. I'm heading to a few other places, and I'm kind of hesitant to like pick stuff up if I'm gonna have to carry it. But yeah, no, like the last day we're gonna be back in Tokyo, but a lot of the people in the group are like, yeah, if we want anything from out, we'll pick it up on the last day, just so we don't need to lug stuff around. But I fell victim. I don't know. I fell victim to temptation. I've been getting kind of into like model kit building these past few months, and basically I ordered like a big stack of these model kits at the beginning of the summer, and kind of have been meeting periodically with some friends to just build them. And I've been running a little low. I'm actually running a little low on them. So, oh, when I go to Japan, I'll just stock up on a bunch of them, save myself the shipping, I guess. And yeah, I saw some like limited ones in like alternate colors that there was only like a single kit left for some lines. So I just ended up loading up on kits yesterday. Oh well, I'm gonna have to carry them, but it's fine. Yeah, so like something weird about model kit companies is I think their websites are not set up super well to catalog. Yeah, they're not set up super well to catalog what they have or what their availability of stuff has been in the past. I don't know. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I don't know. It's just kind of hard to get a sense of like what's available. So many things in like lines of model kits that I'm very familiar with. Like I think Frame Arms Girl and Megami Device are like some Bishojo model kits, where it's just like cute girl kind of plastic model kits where they're wearing armor, like magical kind of outfits or something. Some things I literally had no idea existed. I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. Yeah, so I couldn't help myself. I bought like 4 or 5 kits and an Esoberry, but you know, that can't be helped. That's the law. Yeah, I was saying that it's like buying an Esoberry for me is like the bonfire lit thing from Souls games. Like it's gonna happen. It's like my checkpoint, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, but something makes me wonder, right? A lot of the model kits I ended up buying are what you would call like pre-owned, I guess. But a lot of times people buy model kits and they just don't build them. I don't know if they don't have time or if they're trying to like downsize on space, but they just buy a kit and they never open it. They just bring it back to the store and they're like, I'd like some money back for this, right? The store can sell it at like a heavily reduced price, or maybe rare ones show up in a store that might maybe worth more than like the average. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like literally these kits have never been opened. You can tell they've never been opened because inside the plastic runners are still like shrink wrapped in their original packagings. Must be a really common thing because you just see a lot of them when in Akiba. A bunch of stories, you're just like, yeah, this model kit is old and is cool and is complete and just has never been opened before. Cool. Cheaper for me? I guess I'll buy and build, right? Let's see. I was asked by a few friends to like pick up stuff I happen to see, I guess, and weirdly, like a friend happened to ask like, hey, I want this Nesoberry from a set of Nesoberries. I guess within my circle of friends, I'm very well known as being like the Nesoberry person. Oh yeah, Nesoberries being like those big-headed, derpy-eyed kind of plushies that are kind of like laying on their stomachs. I love them so much. They're stupidly cute. But a friend of mine was like, hey, you should pick this up for me when you're over there. And it came in like a set of 5 or something. I found every single one except for the one they were looking for. Like 4 out of 5. I'm like, wow, surely I must be able to find this final one of this one character. And it's not available. I'm like, what the heck? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, and of course I picked up those questionable Dojins for that one friend who was like, anything with that one character on the front, get it for me. Okay. Okay. What else? So I ended up having to do laundry here at the hotel that I was at, and they run like a coin-operated laundry. And like, hey, let's charge you like 500 yen for a wash, and it like auto puts the soap in, which is kind of nice. And then it's like, yeah, and 200 yen to like run your clothes in the dryer for an hour, which is fine. But the dryer was so hot, it like cooked my clothes. All my shirts shrunk, every single one of them. Like there's a shirt that I bought in Japan last time I was here. Was like super loose and it was super comfy, and it was like, I guess that's style, right? Throw it in the dryer. It's like a form-fitting shirt now. Like, what the heck? This dryer was like cooking my clothes. Well, at least I got it dry, which is I don't know. I probably could not have hung up my clothes to dry in here because they just get wet when I hang them up. Damn, it's so wet in this hotel. I hope I have air conditioning at the next hotel I go. Let's say. I went to a Denny's for dinner. If you're familiar with Denny's at all in the West, they're like pretty notorious for being kind of like a restaurant that you end up at, but never one that you plan on going to. The reputation in Japan is super, super different. They are sort of like some of like the most de facto family restaurants that come to mind if you are thinking of family restaurants, which are like, I think by Japanese standards, you go in, you sit at a booth, a waitress or a waiter, a server, I guess, just comes up and takes your order, and you kind of like get some cups that you can go to like a soda bar, which is not super common. Like an all-you-can-drink soda bar, not common at all. And you can kind of just sit there, take your time eating. I know some people will like do homework or hang out there and study. I actually saw some people playing card games, like full on just like Yu-Gi-Oh style, like dramatically dueling one another across the table. That's kind of neat. You can do a lot of stuff here. And Denny's serves the Japanese understanding of what Western food is. It's kind of crazy. I ordered a hamburg steak, which for all intents and purposes is like a flat piece of meatloaf. It's like a Salisbury steak, I guess, with some like veggies and potato slices and gravy and rice. That's actually not bad. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever had anything quite like it in the West. It's always cool to see like what one culture's interpretation of another's food is. I don't know. It's super cool. But ate at a Denny's. It was a cool experience. Glad I got to do it at least once. Might go back. The food was actually really good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting close to wrapping up, actually. There's a lot more stuff coming up on the horizon that I'm sure I'll be able to talk about, but I'll always talk about it in post rather than what's coming up ahead. Yeah, something I've been like... a few things I've been wanting to do, right? I've gotten a lot of inspiration for cooking since I've been here, and I've tried like different foods. And I cannot cook here at all. There are actually like places, like kitchens that you could rent out to sort of cook at, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not shopping for groceries and cooking in Japan. That's kind of nuts. I've been wanting to stream a lot too, but it's been so busy. But hey, I managed to at least squeeze this in. I think I'm gonna stream again in a few days when more stuff happens. Maybe try figuring something out to get my action working in a way that won't leave Twitch in the dust. I'm so sorry to anyone who's been trying to keep up on Twitch. Oh gosh, I'm just surprised this laptop is working as well as it is for with it. And yeah, I've been thinking about like Neon White and Somnium Files like every day. I left on pretty big cliffhangers on both. Kind of want to get back to them at some point. But you know, I'm super glad for this opportunity to take a trip like this and just experience cool stuff and buy cool stuff and yeah, eat good food. That's the important part. Jeez, yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it. I guess I'll have more to say in a few days. Sorry for the scuff, but my little laptop is doing the best it can. Oh god, it's like a Korean barbecue on this thing. God, it's so hot. It's just radiating heat. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure to pack all this electronic stuff away as well, just so it doesn't get covered in condensation. Yikes. And I am cooking some stuff in the background. I'm not sure if it will be done by the time I come back, but I don't know. There's cool stuff on the horizon. Yeah, I will. That is a promise for me. I'm going to continue to have a great trip. It's just been cool to kind of like just go out and do stuff. It's definitely been a bit different than the first time I went, because I traveled with like directly with a party of people. This time around, the people I'm with are doing a lot of their own thing as well, so I'm kind of going off and doing my own thing too. Traveling alone, traveling with people is a totally different experience, but it's cool. It's just been a good one to have. Yeah, but I think I'm going to wrap stuff up there. It's like 9:43 in the Eastern time zone, I guess. I hope you guys have a good night and sleep well or whatever. I think Uma's streaming. Definitely check out what he's up. Today's a Monday? Is he playing a rhythm game? Is he playing Muse Dash? Let's see. Yeah, I'll see if I can raid in, but gosh, I don't know if anyone's been following on Twitch. Yeah, but thank you for tuning in. I'll do my best to redirect into Uma, and I'll have some more cool stuff to share in a few days, hopefully. Yes, I might be streaming in glorious 480p, but I have to see. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that like YouTube stayed as stable as it was. I hope the VOD isn't like choppy. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the trip. Till we meet again. See you soon.